Hello there, you beautiful specimens. I don't know, I'm experimenting with these intros at the moment. I normally just say, hey guys. Or hi guys. It's hi guys, isn't it? See, I don't even know anymore. I don't know. It's been too warm. It's too warm this week. It is too hecking warm. I'm dying. I can't do heat well, honey. Yeah, I am a little bitch when it comes to the heat. But anyway, welcome back to another Reddit video. I know. This one is going to be Am I the Arsehole? Because I've been meaning to do an Am I the Arsehole video for so fucking long. I love watching the Am I the Arsehole videos that other people do, and I've not seen any for a little while, so I might not know some of these stories, because I've seen a lot of them, like, you know, I've seen a lot. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it up right now. And yeah, we're just going to read them. I hope that you can see them properly. I might have to make it bigger. I don't know. It's up to you what you do with this. Obviously, you're probably here to just see my ugly mug. Do the reaction to them. So, and then we will vote if they are the arsehole or not. So, well, this is an update. Right, we don't want an update. So, am I the arsehole for moving out of my parents' house when I was paying rent and without any notice when I was told to give up my room again? This sounds like one that I would have a good opinion on. Right. I, 18 male, have 3 younger brothers, 16 male, 13 male, and 12 male. Our parents have always... Let me try again. Our parents were always a little hard on me. Alright, mouth exercise. Warm up exercises, everybody. Yum, yum, yum. Do you feel better now? Jesus Christ. I really need to learn to actually do warm-up exercises before speaking on a video, because I mess up so much. Our parents are always a little harder on me than them, and I know that can be normal sometimes. You're the oldest, so... I have middle child syndrome without having any younger siblings, so... But something that always drove me crazy is when they were hosting people and my dad's family, I would be the only one asked to give up my room to keep them. People from dad's family stayed over a lot too, so there were a lot of times I had to sleep on the couch for them. Sometimes I didn't even get much notice. My brothers never had to give up their rooms. In fact, if there were more than usual, my parents would add blow-up beds to my room for them, and the guest room would get a mattress or two depending on the situation. Wait, so you have a guest room already and they're making you give up your room? Okay, right, no, we've not finished yet. Oh, Jesus. Oh. It always bothered me, and I spoke to my parents about it several times. I thought we had a breakthrough last year when they told me they had not wanted me to feel that way and they would do better. After I turned 18 and started working full-time, I started paying rent. One of the agreements we came to was that there was no more making me give up my room. You're paying rent, that is your room. Good. I told them since I was paying for that room now, the least they could do was respect that. This was never formally implemented, and it was all just very between family. But what happened? A bunch of family visited a month ago. My parents told me to give up my room for them to have space. When I tried to stand my ground and also talk to them about it, they told me it was their decision, it was their house. I'm leaning towards not an arsehole. Completely. Like, I am completely leaning towards that. You're not an arsehole completely. You know, context. Where was I? Yes. Instead of just accepting it, I called my grandparents on mum's side and I asked if they had room for me and were okay with me moving in. They said yes immediately and they came over to pack me up and move me in. My parents thought it was a joke until they saw all my stuff being brought out to my grandparents' car. My parents told me I couldn't just leave, and I was paying rent, so I needed to give them real notice. No, you fucking don't, honey. I told them if I was kicked out of the space I was renting, then I was just going to leave. Ever since, my parents have been telling me to move back in, and they said it was childish to move out in such an overdramatic way. They're the ones that made it overdramatic. You were just moving out, so... They told me I left the family members who were visiting feeling awkward and like they were intruding. Am I the arsehole? I'm gonna say no, because, right, so... this isn't me being petty, by the way. Every time that my nana would stay over Christmas and stuff, it would always be, oh, you can have Ez's room, you know, that's fine. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'll sleep in the dining room, with everybody constantly coming downstairs and waking me up every 2 seconds when I've got work at 4 in the morning on Boxing Day. But, you know, no, it's fine, it's one night, you know. I don't give a shit. Now, I got a high-rise bed. No bitch can't get on that. I love my nana to pieces, but it made more sense for someone who wasn't at work in the early hours of the morning the next day to give up their room, which was the agreement, which was fine. This is just pettiness for the sake of pettiness. Like, you've got a guest room. I want to know why they weren't just using the guest room in the first place. And surely you've got quite a big family, by the sounds of it. Surely you've got room on, like, sofas, or in a living room to put up some blow-up beds, or a dining room, or something like that. No, not the arsehole. Let's see what everyone else thinks. Not the arsehole. They can't have it both ways. Wave? Either it's their house and their decision, in which case you're free to decide you don't want to live there anymore, or you're paying rent for that room and they respect that space. See, I know. I know how that feels. Expecting you to pay rent, then still kick you out of your room whenever guests arrive is ridiculous. Moving out wasn't childish, it was a natural consequence of them ignoring the one boundary you asked for. Yup. People are arguing. My husband's parents never respected his space. He, unlike his siblings, never caused issues, but it was typically his boundaries that were ignored. For example, my IL's in-laws didn't want to have TV in their bedroom, so they casually mentioned to my husband that they would be putting a TV in his room and going in when they like to watch TV, and they watch up until 4 a.m. That was the first time they witnessed my husband get angry. They did not end up putting a TV in there, but he was also not allowed a doorknob. Oh my god. Yeah, no, it seems like the general consensus is not an arsehole, and I have to agree. That's fucked, bro. Right, am I the arsehole because I didn't tell my boyfriend what's wrong because I'm tired of doing it? Oh, I think this one might be controversial. Me, female 24, and my boyfriend, male 29, had been together for 5 to 6 years. Okay, that's... I'm not saying nothing there, that you do you, honey. Have lived together for about 3 of those. It's gone to the point where we both work full-time and we both do school, but I do full-time school and he does 1 class a semester that he happens to always forget about and then complain when he does. How do you get away with just doing 1 class a semester? No. Not only this, but I clean majority of the house. I would get onto him about pushing his chair in after use, putting the toilet seat down after use, putting his dirty clothes in the hamper, throwing away trash, putting the pillow back on the couch, and fluffing them when he's done using them, making the bed, and similar things. That was all in one breath, by the way. Are you proud of me? He got a bit better, but now I just get more angry because I ask, hey, can you put up the dinner I made? He says sure, when I go in the kitchen after showering, thinking the only thing I have to do before bed is change my insulin pumps. I see he left out the crock pot, he doesn't put any dishes in the sink, and he doesn't wipe the counters when he spilled some of the food, so I had to do it. I went to the bedroom and said, you could have at least put the dishes up as well. When you cook, I make sure to put the food up, the dishes up. You can make your bowl for lunch at work and clean up after. His excuse... I forgot. You did not forget, honey. You used weaponized incompetence to fuck it. No, right, okay. The story's not over. I will hold in my rage for now. I said okay and got in bed. It's about 10 p.m-ish, close to 11, and I have to get up at 4 a.m. I can't sleep because I, honest to God, can't stand to sleep next to him tonight and go sleep on the couch. When I see the bed in the morning, I ask if he will make the bed. Can't you do it? I'm going to be like, I woke up late. And took majority of his time he had in the shower watching a YouTube video. I said no, you're the only one who slept in that bed. He was confused. I was. Yeah, see, it's worse when they don't even notice. Yeah. Why? Because I didn't want to sleep with you. Why? Because. That's all. Couldn't sleep. Are you going to tell me what I did wrong? No. Because if I do, you'll just tell me I'm nagging. Oh, I relate to you so much, honey. He gets an attitude saying, cool. Cool Cool. Bit of jet plot there for you. Awesome. Well, I'm going to work then. Bye. And slams the door. Man, baby. All I can even look at is the overflowing laundry that was his assigned task that we agreed on. I clean everything else, and he cleans the upstairs game room and does laundry. The unmade bed. The coffee machine with coffee grounds everywhere, and still in the spout, just wet and sitting. The spots on all of the floor from him walking around wet. Clean, dry yourself before you walk around. Oh, that's how you get damp. His wet towel crumpled on the top of the shower door 2 inches away from the empty towel rack. I'm getting like PTSD right now, you might have to give me a minute. The water he left all over the sink after I just watched him wipe up the water from me brushing my teeth and washing my face. The trash on his side of the bed, the game room with dog toy fuzz everywhere, crumpled pillows, a dirty glass table, and dog hair everywhere on the couch and floor still. His watch on the kitchen table that I asked him to put away. The wet bed beach towels he used to clean him and the dog from 3 days ago, still in the wash. Your whole wash basket's going to be a mouldy. The unfed dog. See, that's where I draw the line. The unfed dog. Honey. And finally the clock telling me I don't have time to eat breakfast or have coffee like anyone else did, even though I should because I have type 1 diabetes. Just to get physically beat up at work full time because I work with aggressive patients while he sits at a desk to type whatever and watch Netflix and goes out to lunches, goes on work trips, goes to take tours and do cool ass shit. I don't know, guys, maybe I'm the arsehole. I'll stop you right there. I'll stop you right there. You are not the arsehole in this situation. Hands down. But if there's something I'm not seeing, maybe I'm being too negative, but God, I'm really tired of having to tell him what to do, how and when, and then when I do it without him asking, like I get used to, I get told I'm nagging. Not the asshole breakup, it's fun dating people who like you. Agreed. Man-child, he never grew up and taking mature responsibilities, how frustrating, not the arsehole. I would have taken the day off work to move out. I was ready to move out by the end of the post, and I don't even live there. You're tired, miserable, and fed up, and he couldn't care less. You're wasting your time here. I promise you with all my heart that there are men out there that care and help out and actually want to make their partners happy. Yeah, no, completely agree. I have been in a similar situation myself, and it wasn't even my place, and yet I would be the one sorting everything. I beg of you, though, if you do leave, please take the dog. Please take the dog. Even if it's his dog. I mean, you've been together 6 years, so you've lived together for 3, so it's probably a communal dog. Communal dog? That's not a term. A family dog, we'll call it that. Please take that dog, because that dog is not getting looked after, and that makes me sad. And yeah, I'm not going into any more depth of that. That is complete weaponized incompetence and complete child man syndrome. Child boy syndrome, we should say, really, because are they really men when they act like this? No, they're fucking not. Yeah, difficult situation. I understand it can't always be easy to get out, but I hope you did. And I hope you're happy. And this was 45 minutes ago. I hope you get out and I hope you're happy. So, yeah. Please. Especially because he's almost 30 and you're mid-20s and he is acting like a petulant baby who thinks that it is your responsibility to do all this shit because the fact that you work, clean, look after the dog, do full-time schooling and everything just isn't enough because you're not being his mother or his maid. I said I was done, and ooh, I need to book my next therapy session. Am I the arsehole? Left my partner mostly due to Grindr. I'm intrigued. I left him because of Grindr. Am I the arsehole? My relationship wasn't right for a while. Weird behaviours started happening, and the safe space we had built together was ruined. I've got a high sex drive. But on the odd occasion, I said no to Nookie. Sorry. He would get a proper sulk on and get grumpy. The way you are writing this story, fucking hell. He would get a proper sulk on and get grumpy with me. We had a semi-open relationship. What do you mean by semi-open? That to me sounds like you haven't had a proper discussion about it and the rules that apply to that. We had a semi-open relationship. We could have fun with others of the same sex as long as we chatted about it and everyone was good. Okay. I feel like you need more than just a little chat when it comes to that sort of stuff. Okay. One morning we had a heavy weekend full of fun and he had the horn just as I was crashing out. He went on Grindr and invited a random guy around to have fun with as I wasn't fulfilling his needs. I went to the pub and left him to it, but I was pissed off at how it happened. The communication we'd promised hadn't been there. Then other stuff, he'd invited his family or friends round and then go sit in a different room to us all so I'd pretend that everything was okay. Ooh. On my birthday he invited his friend over and they ended up playing together. He popped to the shop one night 5 minutes away and came home 3 hours later. I got to the point where I was beginning to lose who I was, so I left him. Which is when he admitted that the day he played with another guy, he actually played with 3 different guys. So yes, I had to get tested. Oh, see, that's not good. But there's still so much love there for him, so much fun we had together. I just need a slap to my face to be told I'm not being if I'm being an asshole or not. So please, judge me if you must. See, that's a tricky one, because I feel like it's from a foundation of not actually discussing it properly. Like, I don't know if you did or not, but it just sounds like the rules that you have are very loosey-goosey, and with something like that I feel like you need more hard set, this is how it is. If you're going to do something with somebody else, then I need to have met them, or I need to talk to them, or, you know, that sort of thing. Always wear a rubber, just so there's not the risk of having to get tested and possibly catching anything from whoever your partner's been with, etc. etc. I myself would never be in an open relationship. I'm a completely monogamous person, but I have friends who are polyamorous and stuff, so they, you know, I hear things. But I don't think you were the arsehole. I feel like he was a bit of an arsehole, but I don't think he's like fully an arsehole. I think it's come from lack of communication. But obviously I don't know if it is or not, because I don't have that information myself. Not the arsehole. Open relationships only work with communication, honesty and trust. All 3 of which he violated, see? You don't have to be in a monogamous relationship to be able to cheat. He was cheating on him, and it is totally okay to leave him over it. Not the arsehole. Yeah, exactly. You need to be honest and open, and like I say, you need to know, even if you don't know who your partner's meeting, it still needs to be a case of, oh, I'm meeting up with this person, let's talk about it, let's set some boundaries and some rules, and then go with it, you know? Yeah, not the arsehole. We're getting a lot of not the assholes today. I like it. Am I the arsehole for waking the whole family up downstairs at 2 AM because they thought they could park and block my driveway overnight? Or am I the arsehole for not answering my mother-in-law when she called 3 times? That one sounds fun. I love a good deranged mother-in-law story. Am I the arsehole for wanting my boyfriend to not cancel our plans we've had over his band? I'm gonna go with the mother-in-law. That sounds fun. I might do the other 2 after. I don't know. I'm 26 female, married to my 36 male husband since August. We've been married less than a year, but have been together since 2022. I don't particularly like his mum. Good start. She's not the worst, but she's incredibly annoying. She says ignorant things and tries to instigate stuff. Oh, mothers-in-law. She's totally not someone I ever want to be around, but I feel obligated to because of my husband. Okay. His entire family on his mum's side always fights with each other, gets into arguments, etc. And with my personality, I want to stay far away from that. So I'll go see my husband's mum once in a while, I'll spend time on holidays, etc. But I want to keep her at arm's length because I want to keep our relationship polite and service level. Anyways, I went out for tea with her the other day, which was fine. But yesterday she called me in the morning, I didn't pick up, she called me again at 4:30 and 9. Usually if she calls and I don't pick up, she'll text me, but this time she didn't, and I didn't bother to text her. This resulted in her sending me this text. Hi OP, I called you 3 times today and not once did you answer or acknowledge the fact that I called through a text. I feel disrespected, just so you know. Oh, there are certain ways to go about things, Karen, and that isn't it. This annoyed the fuck out of me, herdoy, because I'm not obligated to pick the phone for anyone if I don't want to, and me not being in the mood to talk is a valid reason to not pick up. If it was important, she could text, but it wasn't. Anyway, I never replied to a text. I told my husband about it, and he said he was disappointed I didn't text about... No, he's... Oh, guys, he's one of them. He's one of them. He's the mummy-loving little baby man that can't stand up to his mother because his mummy's always right. Mummy's always right. Fuck. Sorry, I don't... Oh, dear. And how it was in poor character of me. I got defensive and at another point very angry because I felt my husband was attacking me over his family, which has been an issue in the past. He is one of them fucking mother-sucking baby bitch boys. And I fear I had about our marriage. I don't want interference from his mother or anyone else because of their childish personalities. Am I the arsehole? No. You never, as you said, you never have the responsibility to answer the phone to anybody, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, I am not good at sticking to my own rules with that one because I'm in a management position at work, so if I get a phone call from somebody at work, 9 times out of 10 I will answer it because it is my responsibility. But at the same time, I'm not there that day, so it's not. But that's on me. I'm trying to get better at that. This is your mother-in-law, who, like you said, normally messages you after you've not answered if it's something important. She didn't message you. Must not be important. Why are you phoning 3 times? Also, why are you phoning at such varied times in the day? What if you were at work? What if you... I'm curious what your husband's relationship with your mum and dad are like. Does he chat with them on the phone? Go for tea one-on-one with either of them? Cordial and nice, respectful. I don't know if we'll talk to my mum sometimes. There isn't nearly much of an expectation with my mum, though. She keeps herself as polite as okay. 10-year age gap makes sense. You inadvertently married a mama's boy. See? Never marry a mama's boy. That's rule number 1. Now that you realise what you're dealing with, you must decide on how. I recommend a long, calm chat with him about managing his mother's expectations. His mother's first reaction should have been worry. Exactly. If this is out of character for you. Not anger. She's a peach. A real manipulative one at that. I thought peach was a good thing. You and your hub should probably go see a counsellor and work through his mummy issues. Best of luck, not the asshole. No, I completely agree. I'm not saying never marry a mama's boy, but... Never marry a mama's boy. When they're that close that, like, even if his mum is very definitely, very clearly, anybody can see they are in the wrong, and he's still sat there like, oh yeah, but... No. Sorry I missed your call, is everything okay? I would have sent this after call number 2. I also keep my in-laws at arm's length because they love drama. Narcissists have a compulsion to react to apologies like sharks to chum in the water. They treat you like a vampire treats an invitation inside the door. Exactly. Don't apologise, just say, missed your call, what's up? There are certain people you can apologise to if you miss their call or text or whatever, but not someone like that. Let's do the waking the whole family up, because that sounds fun. This is a little one, okay. I live in a duplex in New York City. We rent the downstairs. We're chill and don't mind their friends throwing parties or staying over as long as they respect the property and keep the noise down at night. Being a couple of months ago, one of their guys blocked the driveway around 7 PM. I asked him nicely to move it and not do it again, but he clearly didn't care. Fast forward to a few days ago, I get dropped off at 2 AM and see his car completely blocking my driveway again. You got a driveway in New York City? A duplex. That's a big fuck off thing, right? Such a way with words. Even going over a bit onto the neighbour's side. I stood outside for 5 minutes debating whether to just have him ticketed and towed or wake up the whole house. I chose option 2 and blasted the doorbell for 10 seconds. We love a petty bitch. We love a petty bitch. Sometimes petty is the way forward, right? I love it. This part because they do have a kid who goes to school the next day. Ooh! They answered and I told her the car was blocking me and I needed to leave. It took the guy 5 minutes to come out and he was visibly pissed. He was like, you really have to wake everyone up for that? And I told him that he's blocking me in and I need to leave, and I'd do it again, I'll have it towed. He said I'll have to go pay for it, and I told him to fucking watch me. He kept cursing at me, so I said back and repeated, that's why you're listening and moving your car, right, yeah? Keep it up moving, buddy. I love it. New Yorkers, bro. New Yorkers are a different breed. The guy's 40 plus and I'm in college. He moved it and I just walked back upstairs and watched the security cams. I knew he was pissed when he looked at the driveway and both cars were still there. Am I the arsehole? Edit for details. Ooh. Oh, edit added more details. Okay. Fucking hell. It's illegal to park across the driveway here. Oh, okay. How else would you get them to move? It's lucky it was them. I'd be pissed with being woken up, but it would be worse waking and finding my car gone. Exactly. Oh my god. One of the questions I got wrong on my car. OP actually can block their own driveway, not randos though. Right, okay, so you can block your own, but not. I mean, nobody's saying arsehole or not, but yeah, I don't think you're the arsehole for that. I feel bad for the kid. But the kid might not have even woken up. They might be a heavy sleeper, yeah? I don't know. But also, if they're throwing parties all the time, when they've got a kid, I don't know. Am I the arsehole for wanting my boyfriend to not cancel our plans we've had over his band? So my boyfriend and I made plans back in March to go to a show, a YouTuber I've been obsessed with for years. I told him to put it on his calendar, as I did on mine, and it's right at our anniversary, so we decided it'd be an anniversary day. Oh, that's cute. He said he'd do it later and didn't put it on. But you won't do it later, will you, Harold? I don't know why I think his name's Harold. Yeah, we discussed it for weeks, and I constantly said how excited I was. Recently I mentioned it, and he said, oh wait, I have a gig with my band that day at a coffee shop. This is why you write it on the thing, Harold. I was like, okay, well we've had these plans for months for cancel it. Okay. That was your mistake, and we've already paid for the tickets to this show. It created huge arguments over the past few days with me begging him to make the decision over what matters more to him. And it's been non-stop him thinking about it and taking to his band members, weighing his options. I'm done at this point and telling him he would pick what matters more to him. Again, we've had these plans for months, and he made the band plans a few weeks ago after I told him non-stop to add the show to his calendar. I don't know, I feel defeated right now, I need some advice. Not the arsehole. I understand that, yes, a gig might be important, you might be getting your name out there, and you might need all the shows you can get to, you know, further your career and whatever, but you have these plans. You made these plans, you agreed to these plans with your partner, and yet you decided not to put it in the calendar as if you knew you would be busy that day, or if you decided, fuck it, doesn't matter if I make other plans because it's just my partner, it's just something they're excited about, not me. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. No. Right. I feel like the option here, if you want my advice, I don't know, the option here, I would say, would be to go to the gig with a friend. Sell his ticket. Get some money back. Sell his ticket, get some money back, go with a friend, have a good time, and fuck him. You know? The fact that he's still weighing his options after you already bought tickets is a huge red flag. Yes. He essentially forgot your anniversary. Yes. And now he's acting like it's an equal choice between a shoffy chop. So good at English. A coffee shop gig and a trip you planned months ago. Sounds like he's Sounds like he's prioritising convenience over commitment. I'd be rethinking more than just the trip. The big issue is he didn't block off dates on the calendar. Ideally, he would have prevented the show from being booked, and since it's just a coffee shop show, he should back out. They probably are getting paid like $200 between the whole band. Not the arsehole, you had planned, you bought tickets, it's your anniversary. When someone says you know they are... right. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Maybe I am dyslexic. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. The fact is, weighing his options about cancelling is a huge red flag. The worst part is, it's a coffee shop, not a wedding or a music venue. People won't be disappointed if they cancel, but you will, and he knows it. See, I didn't even think about that side of it. Like, when the other person says, oh, it's just a coffee shop gig, it's like, yeah, but it's still a gig, you know, they might be getting their name out there or whatever. But, like I said, it's not like people are specifically going there to listen to them, they're just there to play music while customers are in to get their coffees. So that, yeah, that makes sense. Not the arsehole. Even if he cancels his gig, you know where he'd rather be. Ooh! Not the arsehole, not the arsehole. Yeah, completely agreed. Not the arsehole. Right. That one sounds fun. Would I be the arsehole if I refused to be the person designated to taking my sister's child as she and her husband pass away? Ooh, that sounds like a tricky one. Would I be the arsehole for repeatedly telling someone that she eats babies? I'm intrigued. Watch it be a fucking... Watch them be vegan and be like, oh my god, am I an arsehole for telling them that they do this? Yes, you would be. When my partner, 58 male, and I, 41 male, that's a big age gap, honey, ordered veal, a friend, 69 female, of his said she wouldn't be having the veal because she doesn't eat babies. After the three of us got our meal, she again announced she doesn't eat veal or lamb because she doesn't eat babies. Sorry, I don't eat babies. And went on to enjoy her chicken. I liked the veal, but her remark was untimely to say the least. She visited a few months later, and for some reason, I can't remember, she announced her stance again, even though we weren't having lamb or veal. Later, when my partner said she would be visiting again, I decided to do some research. I discovered chickens are killed younger than lambs and calves for meat, both in absolute terms and as a proportion of their natural lifespan. Are you sure? Lo and behold, at an afternoon gathering with various other people, a wedding menu was discussed and she proclaimed, I don't eat babies. Yeah, I mean, she needs to stop with that shit, but, you know. I said, but you eat chicken. So? They're only around 6 weeks old when they're slaughtered for meat. No, they're not. They're fully grown. That's because of how bred and fed. I don't want to hear it. Shut up. I shut up so as not to cause more of a scene. Months go by and she visits again. I swear her I don't eat baby stance must be core to her identity, because I kid you not, she announces it again. See, I'd be kicking her out personally, because fuck off, don't come into my house and tell me what I can eat. I'm seething inside, but I don't say anything. I can't seem to let this go. She says it in a way that to me comes across as so morally superior. Yeah. Which I could possibly tolerate if I believed it were true. Here's what I want to do, and would I be the arsehole for doing it? Next time she visits, I want to say with authority, you either stop eating chicken, or you stop saying I don't eat babies. If you continue to do both, you're a liar. That's not a bad solution. I would just not invite her round. I mean... Why do you let this insufferable person keep visiting? Thank you! I thought I was being mean for saying that, but... yeah. Because no one ate them when they were babies. Oh, Reddit. You wonderfully horrid corner of the internet. Probably because it's his partner's friend and it's easier to tolerate than escalating things, even if it's annoying. Because OP is rather exhausting himself. Honestly though, this crap would get up my nose. As well, I have a friend who won't eat veal because he grew up with cows and always loved the calves, but he happily eats lamb, etc. He acknowledges the inherent silliness of his stance. So, see, if somebody's like, okay, I grew up with cows, I don't want to eat cows, fair enough. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, and I don't think that's silly. And it's also not silly that if he wants to eat lamb, I mean, I don't like lamb or veal or most meat, so I can't say much. But yeah, no, yeah, I feel like you might be the asshole. I think the idea here is to just like separate yourself a bit. Maybe if she comes over, maybe just make plans for that night and leave your partner, who is her friend, with her, and you go out so you don't have to deal with her, and then that's that. I don't know. There might be other ways around it than an ultimatum to say. Am I the asshole for not forgiving my brother after he almost killed me? Right, where was that other one? I think we'll make this our last one for now. Am I the arsehole? Am I the arsehole? Burp. Am I the arsehole for hiring professional cleaners to prove my mum was a spite cleaner? It's from a few years ago, but it's come up in arguments lately, so I figured I'd get some outside opinions. My mum is what you might call a spite cleaner. She uses cleaning as a tool to control and nag and whine and whatnot. My siblings and I bore the brunt of it. Often she delegated cleanings to a Saturday or Sunday, which we called Hell Day. That is your time off. That is your weekend. She would usually go out to buy food for the week / errands and leave us to it, and it seemed no matter how much cleaning we did, she was never happy with the result. The day would end with all of us arguing and upset. Okay. Sometimes we would barely do any cleaning since the end result was the same, her complaining. Venting to each other outside the house one day, my siblings and I decided to prove she was just complaining for the sake of complaining. We set up a GoFundMe and raised funds to pay a local house cleaning company, posting it as something along the lines of help us get professional house cleaning to surprise our mum. And we were able to raise a few $100s, mostly from family and friends who knew our situation, which covered the cost and a nice big tip for the cleaners from what was left. So for one cleaning weekend when our mum had shopping plus getting the car looked at, we scheduled a local cleaner to arrive. There were two very nice women who proceeded to clean the house that was sparkling. We chatted a bit with them while they were working. One of the ladies had almost 20 years experience cleaning homes, the other 8. With their consent, we filmed some clips of them cleaning, saying it was to surprise our mum. So mum gets home with her uncle, who was coming to dinner. She was barely in the door. She's already started complaining about our usual subpar cleaning, that either my brother, didn't clean the surfaces well enough, or that my sister didn't sweep one spot. These were repetitive complaints she often said. She's got a big pile of egg on her face. Long story short, we show her the footage, her face goes red, and she proceeds to scream at us for embarrassing her in front of her brother. How dare we hire cleaners and have strangers in the house, blah blah. We argued back that this proves she just weaponizes cleaning. It's been a few years since then. After the big blow up, she just did most cleaning herself, but she never admitted to weaponizing it. It does come up. It came up again recently as us tricking her, and I don't think we did anything wrong. Am I the arsehole? Absolutely not. That is hilarious. I love it. I love it. People don't like being called out on their bullshit, especially when their bullshit is manipulative and, I'm sorry, but kind of abusive. That's how you get, like, fucking cleaning disorders and shit, bro. This is a fun story, not the arsehole. This would have ended one of two ways. Proof that you and your siblings didn't clean enough, or proof that your mum simply complained for the sake of complaining. Good. I'm extremely curious what they would have done if mum did see a difference and did approve of the professional work. Obviously that was never going to happen, but it would also have been hilarious. Then it would have actually been a nice surprise. Yeah, I guess. But then she would have expected it from then on, which is my first thought as well. I mean, yeah. Yeah, not the arsehole. Sounds like you de-weaponise her and it's still chaps. I'm sure she found something else in time. Yeah, that... Yeah. Not the arsehole. Oh, we had so many not the arseholes today. I like Well, I like it when there's less assholes around. But yeah, thank you for joining. I hope that you're enjoying these Reddit reactions. I know that like they're quite popular, and not that I care about that. I just want to do things I enjoy. But I do enjoy reading little stories and stuff, and saying if people are the arsehole and shit like that. So if you've got any Reddits that you'd like me to check out, please let me know. I kind of want to check out some like spooky ones because, well, I'm me. I love a bit of spook, honey. And then we've also done like the rate my meal deal and shit like that. So we might do like other rating ones, or I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.